Thank you very much, Mr. Master of Ceremony. I acknowledge the presence of our distinguished Governor General, Sir Rodney Williams and Lady Williams, colleague heads, of course the President of the United Nations General Assembly, and all of the other heads of delegations. I take this opportunity to welcome each of you to this dinner that is hosted by myself and Lady Maria Browne. It was certainly a pleasure receiving the various delegations from over 120 countries. I believe that this SIDS conference would have been one of the best supported SIDS conference of the 4 that we've held so far. And it has reinvigorated the SIDS agenda. In fact, we also have a number of organizations that are present here participating in this SIDS conference. Based on the level of participation, the high-level participation as well as the numbers, we're pretty sure now that the SIDS agenda is literally high on the agenda of all. And I certainly want to take this opportunity to thank everyone who contributed thus far to the success of this SIDS conference. There are many countries that contributed, many organizations, and we thank you sincerely on behalf of the government and people of Antigua and Barbuda. Now, my task here is simply to welcome you, so I will not be long, but I certainly want to take the opportunity to speak about some of the outcomes of this SIDS conference. You would note, for example, that we'll be establishing an infrastructure to close some of the gaps that would have bedeviled the development of SIDS. So, for example, arising from this SIDS conference, we hope to establish a center of excellence, and that center of excellence will have a number of facilities. So, for example, there will be a SIDS data hub as we seek to provide more timely and certainly reliable data to SIDS to assist with planning, and to ensure too that in the various fora in which we're collaborating that we have adequate and timely data, even the development of the various indices to include the multidimensional vulnerability index, and certainly for planning purposes. So we want to make sure that going forward that SIDS are not planning in the dark, but they have timely and certainly reliable data. We also will ensure that there is a faster transfer of technology to SIDS to make sure that we are at the cutting edge of technological advancement, to include artificial intelligence and other ICT developments that will take place in the future. I'll add here too that we have a third initiative, that is an investment forum, in which we'll be hosting a biennial conference to attract investments in SIDS. We'll be inviting various entrepreneurs and business people to participate in this biennial forum, in which we hope to attract investments in areas that are underexploited or unexploited. So I believe that SIDS obviously have a very bright future, notwithstanding the various challenges that we're faced with. We know of the various challenges, the financial challenges, the climate challenges, but we must continue to fight for climate justice. We must continue to fight for financial justice. And I certainly want to commend all of the champions. For example, the Secretary General has been a great champion of SIDS. I also want to commend all of the heads who have been at the forefront of that fight to attract more resources to address the issue of climate change and the devastating impact on SIDS of climate change, and also reform of the financial architecture. I especially want to commend my dear sister, Mia Mudley, Prime Minister Mudley, for the Barbados Initiative, or Bridgetown Initiative, in which she would have captured a number of strategies for us to literally fight and to advocate for changes in the international financial architecture, because as it stands now, many SIDS are excluded from much needed assistance for development. So we have to continue to fight and to fight strenuously for changes. Even those of us who have been pushing the issue of non-proliferation of fossil fuels, we must continue to be at the forefront of that fight. And even fighting in the courts, absolutely important. I certainly want to commend the leadership of Tuvalu. As you know, we recently got a very important advisory opinion from IDLAS, which will help us in terms of negotiating better terms and conditions at future COPs. And certainly we expect that Vanuatu will be successful with the ICJ opinion. So we have to continue to work together as SIDS to ensure that there is even greater collaboration and cooperation going forward. And certainly those who have led the Alliance of Small Island States, EOSIS, you too must continue to play a very important role in holding this body of 39 SIDS together as we seek to achieve resilient prosperity for our peoples. So once again, thank you for coming. It is certainly a pleasure, and I look forward to a more successful SIDS in which within the next decade that we will not only achieve the SDGs, but that we'll go beyond the SDGs and we'll be able to exploit the marine resources as large ocean states. I'm sure that there are many opportunities within the blue economy that we could exploit, and hence we need to be involved in greater collaboration and even to collaborate on the issue of research and development as we seek to exploit on a sustainable basis our marine resources. So I ask you now to join me in a toast as we seek to break bread together and to strengthen our collective friendship. Hooray.